This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, welcome back.
Welcome. I don't know why I did that. Oh God.
You're reminding me of a Beaker from the Muppet Babies.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Welcome back to our show, Funny Medicine. I'm Evie.
I'm Julie.
And today we're going to be talking about...
Parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I said it like that, but we're going to roll with it.
It's actually not scary, but it's kind of creepy.
But it could, I mean, you'll see.
Yeah.
It could get a little worse.
All right. So I had actually never heard of parasocial relationships until Julie brought it up, but it is actually interesting. And I think we all have that one person in our life that may have a little bit of a parasocial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive into it. The best, kind of comparison that I can make to this is that if like you've ever yelled at a football player on TV, or if you ever yelled at a character in a drama for not doing something.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Or cried over a movie character. If you've done that before, you've probably experienced a parasocial interaction.
Surprise.
So a parasocial relationship is essentially a one-sided bond with someone who isn't actually in your life. So like a famous singer, an actor, an influencer, or even like a fictional character. So you might feel a familiar connection or intimacy with this person, even though they don't know you at all. So funny how people are like, well, she would not like that. And you're like, oh yeah? Are you best friends?
That's where it gets weird.
Yeah.
I'm like I totally get being a fan, getting really invested to characters and whatnot, even if they're fictional. But when you start like pretending like you know what the person likes or dislikes or whatever, I'm like,
Yeah.
like insert that meme of the cartoon monkey that's like, yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So the term was coined in the 1950s by psychologists Donald Horton and Richard Wohl, who observed TV viewers feeling an illusion of intimacy with on-screen personalities. And it turns out that a lot of us actually do this. By some estimates, over half of Americans have been involved in some sort of parasocial relationship, even if only 16% of Americans will admit it. So what are parasocial relationships like really? Like what is that? So a parasocial relationship are those imaginary friendships or emotional attachments we form with a public figure or character. So they're relationships that live entirely in our head. We might know everything about the celebrity's likes, dislikes, daily habits, what their kitchen looks like, everything that they share pretty much publicly. And we might refer to them by first name and feel invested in their lives as if they were close friends, even though they have no idea that we exist. So importantly, we understand on some level, the bond is one way. In the case of this celebrity person, the celebrity isn't actually our friend, but it feels like you do have that connection to that person. I feel like a lot of people have this with influencers.
100%.
Yeah, like they follow them daily, they look at their reels and everything, and they feel like so connected. And sometimes I feel like even the influencers will be like, I thank you guys so much.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that because it's like, there's
lot
a
of that.
whole thing behind that.
Yeah. So how is this different from one being a fan? It overlaps, but not all fandom?
Yeah.
Is that like fanning or whatever?
Fandom is like the group of fans. Like,
Oh, okay.
You know, like the fandom of NFL, the fandom of Taylor Swift, you know, like that.
Learn words every day. Okay. So it overlaps, but not all fandom is parasocial. You can love a musician's songs or a TV character's antics without imagining a personal relationship with them. So parasocial relationships goes a step further. You feel as if you know the person and care about them from more than just a distant idol. For example, enjoying an athlete's performance is fandom, but feeling genuinely hurt when they lose a game or sensing pride in their achievements, even though you've never met them, crosses into like a parasocial territory. So, in short, being a fan is usually appreciating someone from a distance, whereas a parasocial relationship involves a perceived friendship or an emotional intimacy. So, a telltale sign of a parasocial attachment is when you catch yourself talking to the person in your head or referring to them like an old friend. If you're just collecting their merchandise but not emotionally projecting a relationship, that's fan behavior, not really a parasocial behavior. These one-sided bonds can be surprisingly strong and meaningful to the individual experiencing them. So that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had like a parasocial like thing. Because, you know, half of Americans like
Exactly.
have this, but I can't really.
We'll go more into like examples and like details about it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you'll see like it happens sometimes like by you reading a book and you're very like invested in those characters. So then
Yeah.
you're like,
But talking to them in your head?
yeah, no, that's a whole other level.
Woo!
That's a whole other level. I mean, I guess there's like certain degrees, you know, you could say as well. So time for a brief history on it. Like, how the hell did we even come up with this? You know, how long has this even been around that we've been able to notice it, right? Parasocial relationships might feel like a product of our hyper-connected modern era, but the phenomenon isn't entirely new. The term parasocial was introduced in the 1950s during the early days of television, when researchers noticed people developing intimate connections with actors appearing in their homes through their TV screens. When TV started being a thing and everybody started soon having TVs. However, even long before that, people were swooning over their favorite public figures. Psychologists know that forms of celebrity crushes date back to ancient Rome. Wow.
Not to ancient Egypt?
No, I spared you on that one this time around. We just went to Rome.
We just went to Rome.
So records even joke about women infatuated with stage actors and famous orators, much like fans adore pop stars today. I guess like, oh, there's my favorite gladiator. Rome. Gladiators.
I was
Colosseum.
like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, but now I got it.
That's where my mind
For
went.
some reason, my mind went to Gerard Butler.
Well, I mean, kind of does a lot of those roles.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Even now,
Even
in
now.
the older age, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. Anyway,
Anyways. Like, he's beautiful.
and then when he talks Scottish, like with the Scottish accent,
in that movie.
well, he is Scottish.
Oh, interesting. No,
So-
but I think in the movie he was Irish.
Where?
The
Which
one
one?
with Hillary.
Hillary Swank. Oh,
Yes, I love that movie.
P.S. I love you.
Yes, that one.
God. Anyway, yeah, what a heartbreak of a movie, but yeah, it's an amazing movie. Anyway, all right. So early Hollywood provided plenty of examples too. Stars of the 1920s to the 30s had fans who felt like they knew them, and Beatlemania in the 1960s with fans screaming and crying over the Beatles. And it's a classic example of parasocial fervor, even if the term wasn't used back then. What has changed is the level of access. Social media and the internet have supercharged parasocial relationships in the recent years. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch give us an intimate window into celebrities' lives. Stars share personal posts, respond to comments, or they do live Q&As, which makes us feel even closer, almost like they're friends hanging out with us. As one analyst said, an emotional connection between fans and celebrities is good business, encouraging people to consume more and buy products to feel close to their quote-unquote friends. Many celebrities will even sell personal interactions, for example, paid video shoutouts on Cameo,
Yeah.
which there's a lot of those.
Or like, you know, Sydney Sweeney and her soap.
Yeah. That happened. Anyway, and it sold out in like a matter of like
In
a minute. But
Anyway.
again,
Yeah.
Anyway, to cultivate the illusion of authenticity and friendship. In other words, influencers and artists often actively invite us into their lives as a marketing strategy. It's no surprise parasocial connections are on the rise. One survey found about 51% of Americans are involved in at least one, whether they realize it or not.
That's what I'm
Interesting.
saying. I'm trying to think.
I think probably like a character. Like I kept on thinking like, what's gonna happen with that character? Like, holy
No, I
shit,
definitely
like,
have like things that I'm like, you know, like when I read a book or something like that, like I think about the characters a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking to the characters.
No, but I
you
feel like
know?
that again, like I feel like that's like a level. Like I'm trying to go like parasocial relationship like at its definition, not to that level. I guess like character is the closest I could think of. Anyway, technology didn't invent our tendency to form these bonds, but it certainly poured fuel onto that fire.
Yeah. All right. So why do we even form these one-sided connections, right? Like
What do we gain?
what do we gain from that? Why do smart, normal people end up feeling so attached to someone on the screen? The answer pretty much lies in human psychology and our social brains. Humans have evolved to be really social creatures. For survival, we need strong group bonds. Our brains are wired to connect with others, to recognize familiar faces, voices, and to feel empathy. In today's world, we might spend hours watching our favorite streamers, YouTubers, and also actors on TV, which is kind of like what I had talked about before on like how if you have a relationship with your physician, you don't really like have one, but the person that you're following every single day, you develop that connection.
It's
with
part of
them.
this.
Yeah.
It's part of this. And did you know, I recently found out, thanks to TikTok, that there are streamers out there that are streaming 24/7 their lives.
No, I didn't know.
And there's a term for them. I'll put it here on YouTube when I found it when I'm editing this episode. There was one chick, and I learned about it because they were talking about some chick that she's one of those 24-hour streamers or whatever. And I don't know, something happened in the middle of one of those streams and everybody was talking about it, like she had an accident or some I don't know, something like that. And I'm like, hold on. So they're taking a shower, they're sleeping, they're doing everything, and the camera is on them the whole 24 hours a day. Like, yo. And there's now, I get that. Yeah, that's weird. I find the weirder part the people that actually tune into that. And
that's like a part of our brain that we
I don't know. And I think it's through Twitch that she does it. And
it
it's
has to be
like
Twitch.
and it's dude, and she has a shit ton of followers. Like
Yeah.
she's super popular for doing that, for doing those 24-hour streams.
Oh girl, but there's a lot of people that are popular for a lot of weird shit.
I'm like, what's so interesting about following a
Have you seen the girl
person?
that thinks that she's a dog?
No.
Okay. We have to do an episode on her.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. She's fun. She's funny. Like, no, she legit thinks she's a dog. It's like, oh God, what is her name? She's like, her name is like Meow, but I'm not a dog or something like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyways,
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
All right. So, but yeah, she's super popular and everyone follows her, and it's like on Twitch. And I mean, man, she makes
I don't get it though. Like, what is so interesting that you have to like follow a person for 24 hours a day? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
What's so interesting about
I
that?
don't know. You must be really bored or not doing stuff in your life to have the time to do that. But anyways, our ancient social brain doesn't really distinguish between seeing someone on a screen versus in person. If we're exposed to them regularly and they spark an emotion, we start feeling like we actually know them. Arthur C. Brooks, a social scientist at Harvard, explains that regular exposure creates a sense of intimacy and attraction, even if it's with a total stranger on the other side of the world. In other words, the same psychological mechanism that bonds us to real friends can actually be triggered by a well-crafted character and charismatic vlogger. I totally said this. This is why.
That's why I said, hold on.
All right. So another big factor is emotional engagement. So great storytellers, whether show writers or celebrities themselves, hook us by the heart. Think of how the Harry Potter books or a binge-worthy TV series makes you emotionally invested in the characters' lives. Me, for this, is like Game of Thrones.
100%. That's the first one that comes to mind.
I was emotionally invested every single time someone would get killed. That episode where the brother dies after his like wedding.
The red wedding.
Yeah, the red wedding.
I have goosebumps.
And then they kill the mom. That same episode.
I cannot with that episode. Everybody's traumatized by that episode.
Or when they kill the dad.
Ned.
In
the first fucking season.
And
Arya's just looking at him like...
Yeah, no one's safe. That was definitely a TV series that I was emotionally invested.
I was a lot more emotionally invested in those dragons. Every time a dragon died, I felt that to my core. I felt that more than when any human died on the show.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
So you kind of laugh at these people, you laugh at their jokes, you worry about their problems, celebrate their victories. This emotional immersion is the secret sauce that makes fiction or celebrity drama so compelling.
So true.
You know what is so Love Island.
Yeah. Oh,
Everyone has a connection. Everyone talks about these people like if they know them.
have you seen Love Island?
I saw the first couple of episodes. To be honest, it's not really my kind of show.
I haven't even tried because it's just so much.
I love the people, and I
Okay.
think that's what really gets everyone to watch the show. But like the actual challenges and stuff like that in Love Island, I'm just like, not for me.
I don't even know them. That's the thing. Like I've just seen like clips here and
And
there.
then again,
I'm
I've
like,
only
it's
seen like
too
the
much.
first couple of episodes, so really maybe I haven't like really gotten to like the actual character development, like of everyone's like personalities.
Yeah.
But I can see how it could lead to
Yeah.
that. But there's just so much going on in that show that I was just like, it didn't
Yep.
really hook me on like how I thought like
Right.
everyone was
Everybody's
talking about
been
it. Yeah.
hooked.
Yeah. So, anyways, we form attachments because these figures evoke a real feeling in us. And it's almost just like a friend might do it as well. So, as Brooks notes, the writing and presentations are supposed to engage you emotionally. That's why you can even form a bond with an unlikable or fictional character. Loneliness can also play a role when we lack sufficient social connection in real life. A parasocial relationship can fill some of that void. I mean, we see that all the time.
I mean, Corona times were 2020 was
No, people
rife
like
with that.
playing Call of Duty.
Exactly.
You know, like or World of Witchcraft. What is it? Is it World of
World of Warcraft.
Warcraft? I was like World of Witchcraft. Wow. I just know it's called WoW.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow.
Exactly.
Or before, man, I'm talking about before, like when I was like young.
The Sims?
The Sims.
I fucking love The Sims.
Okay,
Love The Sims.
I was definitely like into that world.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But I was also a little sociopathic there too.
But we were really young.
I know, but I was really sociopathic. I would kill them for fun.
I'm sweating. Okay, that's weird.
But
So,
come on,
anyways.
you gotta tell me that you didn't put a sim in your pool and then take out the stairs so they wouldn't be able to come out.
No, girl. I did not.
Anybody out there, help me out. Help me out in the comments. I'm not alone in this. I know this for sure.
You're alone on at least with me. I did not do that.
When
not
when
do
they
that.
would start annoying me or like they became something I didn't want and I needed to get rid of them, that's what I would do.
Oh my god.
And then I would try to befriend the Grim Reaper.
Okay. All right. Moving on, because this Jules is getting weirder. The Grim Reaper.
Don't you remember that every time a sim would die, the Grim Reaper
Yeah,
when his
yeah,
thing
yeah.
would come by, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, yeah, yeah, and you could talk to him.
I never got to that.
Yeah, there was like cheat codes and everything, so you could like try to
Oh my god,
like.
cheat codes. Like,
Oh my god, remember Motherload?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I remember
Motherload
that.
the whole time. It didn't work. I wasn't gonna send them to work.
So funny. She's so funny. But yes, okay. So this is actually like, so we have had like a parasocial thing.
Exactly, of course.
All right, so tuning into a favorite creator's daily vlog. Oh man, okay, this is where there was a point when I was in med school, when I was on YouTube, and I followed so many OG YouTubers.
Like which ones? Jenna Marbles.
Yeah, Jenna Marbles, Kathleen Lights, like just so many YouTubers, High on Life too. I don't know if you ever
remember
saw
that
them, but they were like these people that would go and like travel and like do like crazy things. It was so fun. Hey Nadine, those were like the
Okay.
travel bloggers. And I would just wait and wait and wait until they would post something. It was crazy.
That's it. Yeah,
It's crazy.
And they know how to hook you like that.
Yes, exactly.
That's the thing.
So, anyways, so tuning into your daily vlog or bonding with a fellow fan in an online community can actually make you feel connected when you're otherwise isolated. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, many isolated people gravitated to online fandoms or for exactly this reason. It offered a dose of social interaction and a shared experience when real contact was actually cut off. So studies can actually confirm that being in a fandom or parasocial community can decrease loneliness by providing camaraderie and a safe haven for support. Interestingly, research is mixed on the loneliness aspect. Some studies have found that lonelier people are more prone to parasocial bonds, while other research found that even very social, outgoing folks enjoy these relationships too. But I can see from both of them.
Yeah.
Loneliness because you're seeking that community.
Right.
And also from a person that's like super extroverted and out there, like you just love that attention and love that social, so you're gonna get it out and in. So
exactly.
in fact, loneliness and parasocial attachment are not consistently correlated in general. It's not just for the lonely hearts. Almost anyone can develop a parasocial affinity. There's also a convenience factor. Parasocial relationships, in a way, are kind of like relationships light. So it's like the light version. So they can be less demanding and more idealized than the real friendships. Your favorite podcast or fictional hero isn't going to argue with you, disappoint you, or ask you for favors. They're often talented, attractive, and interesting. Basically, a perfect friend who is available on demand and requires no effort from you beyond just locking in. So it's so true.
Exactly.
So for people who have a hard time with trust or intimacy, like those with more avoidant attachment styles, these one-sided bonds feel really safe. You get the warmth of connection without the risk of rejection or hurt. And in fact, psychologists have noted that individuals who struggle with closeness sometimes latch onto TV characters with traits they admire, using that as a coping strategy to feel connected, even to emulate positive qualities. I mean,
It's pretty crazy.
it is pretty crazy, but I can see how all of that makes sense.
Of course.
And there's so many people that have created really deep friendships online, you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
one study actually found that people with avoidant attachment who are like kind of wary, weary.
Yeah, wary.
Yeah.
It's like you're careful.
Wary.
You're
But
like
is it weary or wary?
wary. I would say wary.
But I say weary.
Today is your day for this.
Today's my day. Yeah. All right, weary. All right. One study found that people with avoidant attachment who are wary of the real world closeness often becomes attached to fictional characters with desirable characteristics and try to embody those traits. An effective way to experience the connection and personal growth without the challenges of a real relationship. Lastly, humans can even extend this social drive to non-humans or imagined figures. This is where I think it gets crazy.
I thought so too, but
So we give human qualities to objects like it's nobody's business. And remember, it's, oh my God, this is like the perfect thing. Tom Hanks with Wilson. Yeah, exactly. The volleyball in Coffin. Yeah, I cried when Wilson. Yeah.
We also developed a relationship with Wilson.
With Wilson, 100%.
Right there, we were right there with Tom Hanks.
My heart shattered when Wilson like died. Yeah, it was so sad.
God, horrible. What a good movie, man.
Yeah, I know that was a great, but you know it's Tom Hanks. He's a great actor.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Like he's the dad of America.
Seriously. People form bonds with fictional characters, cartoons, avatars, even virtual assistants. Our brains seek that connection wherever they can, especially when we're feeling isolated. In fact, research has also shown that people who do this to non-human agents like AI when they're socially disconnected as a way to cope with loneliness.
Check into my solo episode on mental health and AI. Talked
Yes.
all about that. Really
Yes.
crazy how that's
And
developing.
if you guys
into
haven't
something.
seen Kendra falling in love with her psychiatrist and
boy.
her relationship, really, honestly, coming off of this, her relationship with her chat GPT,
boy.
she calls Henry. I mean, that is crazy.
That psychiatrist or psychologist had a lot in his
No,
hands.
he's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, he had a lot in his hands. Cause wow, and the things that she would say, it was like simple things like, "Oh, okay, so I'll see you in a month." You know, her next appointment's in a month, and she's like, "The way he told me that," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, you're telling him he's just saying it's your next appointment in a month."
Yes, exactly.
Like there's no, as if there's nothing there.
But, you know, so there was actually a TikTok video of someone that was like, where are Kendra's friends?
I know. Well, she probably
"Where
doesn't
are
have
her-"
any.
Yeah,
That's the
she's like,
problem.
where are her friends? No, she's talking to ChatGPT.
That's exactly
So
it.
she's like, where are her friends that are telling her, like, no, this is not that, you know?
She probably doesn't.
But
That's
honestly,
the
like,
unfortunate part.
like not judging, right? I'm not a psychiatrist, right? I did have
Training in it.
The training, what you can consider like medical school training, right?
more than most, you know?
I can tell that she definitely has a personality disorder,
100%.
and you're either with her or you're against her.
That's what I'm saying. So of course she's gonna have ChatGPT be her friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, because ChatGPT is programmed to please you.
Please you, exactly.
So,
but
you know?
she's like, Chat or Henry, you know, and she like screenshots and sends like what Henry says to the guy. I don't know, man. It's so weird. But anyways,
Poor human.
the bright side, benefits of parasocial relationships. Despite being one-sided, parasocial relationships aren't all imaginary fluff. They can actually have real positive effects on our lives. Here are some surprising upsides backed by science. So companionship and reduced loneliness. I can totally believe this.
Yeah.
This is actually why a lot of people don't want to take away social media from teenagers, because there is a one side to it that they actually create healthy relationships. It's not all bad,
Right.
but definitely have to be careful. Parasocial friends, like a favorite host, a character that helps people feel less alone. Daily check-ins, creating belonging, of fan communities that build real social ties. During COVID-19, isolated people turned to fandoms for interaction.
100%.
Studies link these connections with lower loneliness and more support. Comfort in tough times. Parasocial bonds can act as an emotional safety net. A favorite celebrity or character can actually feel like a secure base during stress. There are dramatic examples, like fans who credited interactions with actors for helping them through suicidal thoughts, even without direct contact. Rewatching a show or following an uplifting creator that can bring comfort. These figures become steady presences that help people cope. Now, talking about growth and self-improvement, parasocial bonds often inspire learning and motivation. Athletes can push fans to train harder, while cooking vloggers spark new recipes. Children can pick up values from characters, and adults can adopt traits from admired role models. Some fans even learn new skills, like languages or creative writing sparked by their interests. Now, talking a little bit more about identity and self-discovery, for teens and young adults, parasocial ties are a safe way to explore identity. Research shows that they let people try on traits of admired figures, boosting confidence and shaping self-image. Adults continue using these bonds to align with their ideal self. Representation matters too. The LGBTQ plus youth, for instance, often finds validation in creators or celebrities who reflect on their identity. These bonds provide visibility, acceptance, and inspiration to embrace who you are. So it's not all creepy, scary. It can be very positive.
That's why I think there's levels to
There's
it.
levels and there's a balance.
And of course, like everything, you could go to like the Kendra level
Yeah.
and be like misconstruing something
Everything.
to something that it's not.
Yeah, everything.
You know, when I saw that of like, okay, I'll see you in a month, and she took it as in like, she told me, you'll see me in a month.
No,
Like,
and then
what? And I'm like, dude, of course.
when he asked like this a very special question or something, that he's like, have you had any thoughts of harming yourself? And she was like, it's because I was special to him. And then when she said that, I was like, oh girl.
Oh boy,
Oh girl.
that poor guy. You know, people found who he was and everything.
She said his name.
Jesus Christ.
She said his name.
That poor man.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So she said,
I'm sure he was like, yeah, she's crazy. Like,
I mean,
and I feel bad because it's just another tangent that we're going off on.
Yeah.
We don't even need to talk about this. This has nothing to do with our episode.
well, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that was all the good positive things that could come out of a parasocial relationship, but of course, as you would expect, there is a dark side. Let's talk about it. Of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in a one-sided friendship land, as you could imagine. Parasocial relationships do have limits and potential pitfalls, especially if they get out of hand. Here are some of the key drawbacks to be aware of. First, they won't love you back because it is one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no possible way you could receive something back, you know? No matter how much you adore your favorite celebrity or character, the hard truth is that the relationship isn't mutual. As one expert said, parasocial bonds are like fake food. They taste good, but they have no nutritional content and won't meet your needs. They can't truly feed your need for two-way love and affection and like just social ties and bonds.
Yeah.
You might feel connected to Taylor Swift or Iron Man, but they're not going to reciprocate your support or show up when you need a real friend.
Yeah.
Relying solely on these fantasy connections can leave fundamental social needs unmet, and you could end up malnourished emotionally in the long run. Humans thrive on mutual love and interaction. Without it, we can't fully flourish. In short, enjoy parasocial ties as a supplement, okay? But remember that they're not a substitute for real reciprocal relationships. So then talking about that isolation and loneliness, so there's risks to that when you're talking about parasocial relationships, because we did say for a moment there that maybe it could help, but in moderation, as
Yeah,
you
right.
literally
It's
had
like,
said.
yeah, like there's a balance.
Exactly. But if a parasocial relationship crowds out your real life relationships, it can obviously backfire. Someone who's become way too wrapped up in an imaginary bond might start withdrawing from family and friends or declining social opportunities. Like, for example, when they're like, no, I can't go out because my YouTuber is going to go live tonight. So I need to like be streaming that tonight and you
Yeah.
can tune in for that. Over reliance on that one-sided connection can deepen isolation if you're not careful. And chronic loneliness isn't just an emotional concern, it's linked to serious health issues like depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, heart disease, and even a shorter lifespan overall. Parasocial relationships should never completely replace real human contact. If you do notice you're choosing fictional friends over real ones too often, it's probably time to rebalance and reach out to somebody that could help and actually interact with you, and maybe a therapist.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe.
maybe. But definitely reach out to real people. Obsession and interference with life. Most parasocial bonds are casual, but some can become all-consuming. Psychologists describe it as an intense personal level of parasocial attachment where someone becomes obsessed with their idol, constantly checking the celebrities like social media or anything like that, thinking about them 24/7, maybe even feeling this person is your soulmate or best friend, despite never meeting. That's where you go to that level.
Yeah.
You know? This can interfere with daily life. Productivity drops because you're preoccupied with the next update. You lose sleep, binge watching their content, or you struggle to focus on work or school or whatever it is that your daily life requires, you know? It can also strain real relationships. You might fight with your friends or your partner if they don't share that intense devotion. I can't even imagine being like, I can't. Or you start prioritizing your parasocial relationship over actual people in your life. When a one-sided fandom crosses into fixation, it's a red flag that underlying issues like depression or anxiety may be at play. In fact, clinicians note that if your parasocial relationship feels overwhelming or may start taking over your life, you may have some deeper mental health challenges to address. Yeah, I would say so. Of course, as you could imagine, when we're talking about these levels, there's going to be boundary problems and delusions. You know, it's inevitable.
I'm sure these people also have had similar boundary problems.
Oh, yeah.
It's somewhere else in their life.
They just lost that definition for some reason. There's got to be something there, you know? In rare cases, the line between fantasy and reality blurs too much. A fan may start believing they deserve something from the celebrity because of their devotion, or that the celebrity actually would reciprocate that if they only knew me, quote unquote. This sense of entitlement can lead to boundary crossing behaviors like incessant messaging, showing up uninvited to places a start might be, or forms of stalking and harassment, which unfortunately majority of huge celebrities have come out and said. Like, I think Taylor Swift had one like a couple of years ago that did something really creepy, and a whole bunch of them, like even in the 90s and stuff like that. Remember one, I think it was with Whitney Houston or one of these huge celebrities, that the guy managed to get inside her house. Like, that is
It's so creepy.
so creepy and scary. Like, that is, anyway. So the most extreme form is what researchers called borderline pathological parasocial relationships. That's when a person has lost control over their feelings and maybe actions. So kind of like the example I was talking about. They might genuinely believe the celebrity secretly loves them, or they might harbor extreme thoughts such as, I would gladly die for this person, or if I walked into their house, they'd welcome me like a friend.
Just like saying that is just so creepy.
It is. Anyway, these are actual examples that have been documented in studies from obsessive fandom. Like,
Yeah. It's giving swim fan for me.
100%.
Yeah.
Fatal attraction.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Of course, they actually had met, but I mean, the level of which they kept going,
Yeah.
that's where it's like, you know. Anyway, so these cases are very rare, but they can be dangerous. A notorious example is John Hinckley Jr., who became delusionally infatuated with actress Jodie Foster. He ended up attempting to assassinate US President Ronald Reagan in 1981 to impress her. Again, this level is an extreme exception.
Yeah.
For most people, parasocial obsession might max out at angrily defending their idol online in comments or getting into heated arguments with a fan who doesn't get it, quote unquote. Not great behavior, but it's not violent at least, you know? Still, anytime someone is compelled to act out of character or break laws for an idol, that's a serious problem. And maybe a professional should be consulted.
Consulted. Just maybe.
Just maybe. So negative influence and disillusionment, because we often idolize the subjects of parasocial relationships, we can be vulnerable to bad influences or disappointment because, I mean, these people are human too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when Britney Spears had her 2007 moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand now as an adult why she went through that. Like, I get it. I think I probably would have shaved my head too if I was under her level of stress.
She has a lot going
A
on.
lot. Have you seen her lately?
No.
Poor thing, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's
Like, she
bad.
needs help.
Yeah.
Like, she really, really needs somebody on her side. Anyway, so if your hero figure promotes unhealthy behaviors, like, say, a celebrity glorifying drug use or a YouTuber spreading misinformation, I mean,
Yep.
anyway, being a devoted fan might make you more likely to internalize those harmful ideas.
Yeah.
Young people are especially impressionable. Parents sometimes worry if a child's idol has values that clash with families, the kid might start echoing those attitudes. Additionally, if a celebrity does something scandalous or morally troubling, fans can feel personally betrayed. We've seen cases where fans are heartbroken or even traumatized when their favorite public figure is exposed for wrongdoing. And when a beloved character's story ends or a celebrity retires or even just passes away, fans may experience parasocial grief close to like losing a real friend.
I feel it's like, I know it's stupid,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's like when Bad Bunny broke up with Gabriela and then he got with Kendall Jenner. Everyone was like,
You see what I mean? That's just
no. Everyone made the biggest deal. They were like so hurt.
I feel like
I mean, he didn't break up with Gabriela for Kendall, but it's like
yeah, but they
after-
took it like that.
Yeah, I just feel like it's the Kardashian thing.
Yeah.
It's like seriously, like you are so like
It's weird.
you are so high on that pedestal for so many people, and then when they finally got with Kendall, they were like, what? And they still love him. That's how strong the love is for like Bad Bunny. That they're like, God, why'd you have to do that? I love you, but why do you have to do that? Like seriously, a fucking Kardashian.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the ones, and I'm probably going to get, lash for this, but I honestly do not care. I feel like the biggest fandom that goes that hard, well, there's two, at least that I'm aware of, is Taylor Swift
Yeah.
and Beyonce, the Beehive.
Yeah.
Those two fandoms go hard.
Yeah.
Like, they go hard. I have
They
no
do.
problem with them. I have no problem with those celebrities either. Like,
Yeah.
go ham.
Yeah.
But, like,
but they do.
But, like, at least that I've seen their interactions in social media, like,
Yeah.
defending and going up to bat
Yeah.
is, like,
Yeah.
it's hardcore. Anyway, all right. So, another dark side about this, financial or practical costs. There's a really good episode about what I'm going to be talking about right now, about spending a lot of your money on these parasocial relationships that you develop. Morbid did an episode on it, and so did Bailey Sarian, and it became a true crime, unfortunately. And it was this kid that I'll link the episodes like around here if you're watching on YouTube, because you should listen to it if you're into true crime. It was a kid that he got so emotionally involved in this parasocial relationship with this cam girl. He ended up, long story short, he ended up killing his family so he could inherit the money to keep on paying for his cam girl addiction to this chick.
Oh my God.
He ended up killing them. He was financially draining them while they were alive, completely financially ruining them.
So bad.
The grandma and everything, like he went, like
The grandma.
everyone.
I mean, everyone, right? Like that.
everyone. And then they had taken away his phone. We're talking about a guy that was in his 30s. They had taken away all these things and all that. They put him in rehab. They did, honestly, the family did everything they could. And at the end of it, the guy ended up killing them.
Oh my God.
And mind you, in jail, he was still trying to get to her. It's just like, I mean, there's no other word for it, but it's pretty, like the story itself is crazy. It's
And
really
these are the
like,
people that you obviously know that they have something
oh,
going on.
for sure. And they said it like, and when he went to rehab and all these things, like, yeah, for sure. But it's like, wow. Wow. So yeah, I'll link it to it if you're like interested into like a really good example about this. Check that out. Those two. I have a little bit of a parasocial relationship with Bailey Sarian and the Morbid Girls. Like I freaking love those podcasters. Anyway. So, okay, talking about this. Devotion can hit the wallet too. An extreme fan might spend a lot of money on merchandise, concert tickets, donations, or subscription services to feel
It's definitely like Taylor Swift and Beyonce for sure. Yeah.
subscription services to feel closer to their idol. Not even their idol. It could even be to like OF.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. OnlyFans. Yeah.
Big time. I recently heard of a guy. No, there's a rumor. This is a rumor. It is what's the legal term for it? Allegedly, that the CEO of Astronomer, the one that got caught in the Coldplay, whatever.
Yeah.
They're still digging into him, of course, because I mean, internet's loose. They found that he spent close to $1 million on OF.
Does it shock you though?
No, but dude, I know he's like probably like a billionaire, whatever. I mean, he's the CEO of some tech company. I know, like that's probably nothing for him, but still, like for the regular person, almost $1 million on OF
That's crazy.
for one guy. Jeez. Anyway, yeah. So that's another great example. Anyway, so if you're blowing your budget to buy every product your favorite influencer reps or traveling to every convention to see them, it's a sign that that parasocial fling is maybe doing more harm than good to your bank account and to you in general. Likewise, time is cost, right? Hours and hours spent consuming content or engaging in fan battles online, like those internet trolls and like whatever, could distract you or detract you from other fulfilling activities in your actual real world life. It's all about balance. Supporting your idol is fine, but not at the expense of your own financial health or your personal growth or your own livelihood, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
All right. Let's dive into myth-busting parasocial relationships. So, yeah. Parasocial relationships sometimes get a bad rap or bad... Yeah, rap, right? I don't know why today is one of those days.
No, I get it. I'm always in those days.
All right, so parasocial relationships sometimes get a bad rap or are misunderstood. So let's tackle some common myths and misconceptions. I love our myths because it kind of sums up everything.
Exactly.
So myth number 1, only loners or weirdos have parasocial relationships. You know that that's not true. Parasocial attachments are incredibly common across all types of people. 50% of Americans apparently.
51. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Even highly social, outgoing individuals form these bonds. One estimate found 51% of Americans have engaged in a parasocial relationship at some point, and 16% will admit it. If you ever felt connected to a celebrity or character, you are in very good company. It's natural human phenomenon, not a sign of being an oddball. In fact, research shows that loneliness and parasocial interactions are consistently linked. In other words, it's not just socially isolated people who develop these bonds.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to make him comfortable. Look at him.
I know. He's so cute. Hi, Bobby.
He's just so scared. He's not having a good day. It has not stopped raining, so it's not a good day for him.
Pobrecito.
At least he's out. He's not under the table anymore.
Yeah. All right. So bottom line, most people have had one of these one-sided relationships, whether they realize it or not. And there's nothing inherently strange about it. Okay.
Yeah,
but
sometimes-
again, everything is balanced.
Exactly. I mean, we can't help it that our brain like automatically wants to really go hard for that Game of Thrones dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
I felt like it was a dog, like one of my dogs. Like, no!
I know. Just
God,
everyone.
when
there.
they started killing, I know that the red one was the only one, red or black, whatever. It was the only one that survived. And then he took her body and left with it. Anyway, how precious.
I know.
But when they were killing the other two, I'm like, what the bro? Why do
I know,
that
just
to
everyone.
me, man?
Everyone was dying.
Not the dragons. Just let them fly away. You don't have to kill them. God damn it.
Have you
Anyway.
watched the other
Oh,
season?
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
House of Dragons.
Of course. Of course.
All right, so myth number 2, parasocial relationships are inherently unhealthy or delusional. Again,
Balance.
not wrong, right? I mean, sorry, wrong. Not wrong. Yes. It is wrong. While the extreme stalker cases grab headlines, the vast majority of parasocial relationships are kind of harmless.
Yeah.
Early research once assumed that it was an unhealthy escapism for people who lacked real relationships, but contemporary studies have largely overturned that view. Today, we know that these one-sided bonds can provide enjoyment, comfort, and a sense of companionship without ill effects, or for most people. So most who have a parasocial crush or fandom fully understand that it's one-sided and they aren't hallucinating or truly delusional. They're just imaginatively engaged.
Yeah.
Only in rare extreme cases does someone really lose touch with reality, like that child that killed his family, unfortunately.
Not child, unfortunately.
Oh, well, no, he was like 36, you told me. I don't know this
I don't know.
story.
It started when he was in his 20s into his 30s.
I don't know. I don't know his...
It's
I don't know this.
It's so unfortunate. I'll send it to you. You should listen to that one. It's really good.
But anyways, those borderline pathological cases are the exception. Enjoying parasocial connection is usually fine, as, you know, like enjoying a good book or a movie. It doesn't mean that you can't tell fiction from reality. It just means that you're human and your empathy is at work. Myth number 3, being a huge fan is the same as having a parasocial relationship. They're related but not identical. You can be a passionate fan of someone's work without feeling a personal two-way connection. For example, you might love an artist's album and attend all their concerts, yet still view them as a distant star on a pedestal. And that's a fandom. Okay?
Yeah.
This is our Bad Bunny. Okay.
Yep.
So a parasocial relationship means that you've moved into feeling a friend-like bond. You can care about that celebrity's personal life, feel empathy for their ups and their downs, and maybe imagine that they care about you. That's like our Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like,
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
yeah. So there's plenty of overlap, but most parasocial relationships do involve fandom after all, but the key difference is the perceived intimacy. A fan admires at a distance, whereas a parasocial follower feels emotionally involved. If you're just collecting merchandise and cheering for someone, that's a fan behavior. But if you're talking to the person in your head, then, it's, you know, or like a genuinely feeling that they're your friend, that's a parasocial. In short, all parasocial relationship holders are fans, but not all fans develop parasocial relationships.
They're mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Latest insights and trends. Because I thought of bringing this up as an episode today because I keep hearing it. There's actually like another podcast that I really like because they just talk about anything. And when I want to disconnect from reality and just like hear something stupid, I turn on to the Basement Yard. They're fucking hysterical. And they had an episode about parasocial relationships. And I'm like, and then I encountered a person that has a parasocial relationship.
Okay.
To a pretty high severe, not severe, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but the person had this and as a Taylor Swift fan, and it was like going hard against me on Threads, on my personal. And I'm just like, I called him out on it. I'm like, you should seek therapy. I believe you have a parasocial relationship because you should reread what I wrote, and it is uncalled for, your comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. He didn't even reply back. I'm like,
Oh my God.
you should seek help, bro. Anyway, yeah. So then all of these things started happening. I'm like, you know what? Let's just like dive into this thing. You know, like people are talking about it. It's kind of relevant. Let's do it. Latest insights and trends about it. Parasocial relationships have become a hot topic in both research and popular culture recently. And here's a few fresh of these newsworthy like trends or whatever. Scientists are studying parasocial bonds more than ever. A 2024 study examined how people perceive their parasocial relationships compared to real life relationships, with some fascinating results. Researchers found that participants actually rated their one-sided relationship, like with their favorite YouTuber, influencer, celebrity, what have you, as more effective at fulfilling emotional needs than casual in-person acquaintances, though not as fulfilling as close real friends. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
In other words, your friendship, quote unquote, with that streamer you watch daily might feel more emotionally supportive than small talk with that coworker you barely know, even if you've never met the streamer. And you know what? It's like everything is going so online these days that I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
Yeah.
I see it.
No, the online world is definitely developing for sure.
And wait until we go into like AR. When artificial reality kicks in, oh man, I don't even know what's gonna happen. Like this is gonna be like it,
Yeah, I know.
you know? It's inevitable. So the same study noted that people with higher self-esteem were just as likely to expect responsiveness from their parasocial figure as they would from a real friend when they felt needy, suggesting that we psychologically use these relationships to regulate emotions in comparable ways to real friendships. Our brains on some level treat them as genuine social connections. Again, we're dealing in a very high level tech thing.
Tech, yeah.
And our brain, it hasn't caught up to that. Like our evolution has not caught up to that. Anyway, so parasocial interactions can influence real attitudes and behavior. New research is also exploring on how one-sided bonds can be harnessed for positive change. For example, as mentioned earlier, forming a parasocial connection with a YouTuber who opened up about his mental illness significantly reduced stigma in viewers towards mental health issues.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
We've talked
a very
about that
good
before.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another study found that increased parasocial interaction with LGBTQ characters on TV was linked to lower prejudice towards those groups in real life. And I feel like that's been a huge thing of how we've shifted our mentality about that too. Just exposing it more, you know? These findings are prompting mental health experts and communicators to consider using parasocial engagement through media and influencers to spread positive messages, reduce stigma, and even deliver health education on a large scale. It's like empathy outreach via your favorite TV show or social media personality. By feeling like we, quote unquote, know someone in a certain group, we become more understanding of that group as a whole. So that's kind of like a positive social change. And then this one for the millennials listening to us, the rise of stan culture and monetization of intimacy. In pop culture, the term stan, quote unquote, an extremely devoted superfan derived from the Eminem song, remember Stan?
Yeah, Stan. Mm-hmm.
Has entered everyday language, underscoring how prevalent these fandoms have become. Celebrities and content creators today actively cultivate parasocial relationships with their audience. It's even part of their business model. Influencers speak directly to the camera as if they're chatting with a friend, share personal details, and build a sense of trust so those followers feel like a genuine bond. This strategy can be positive, so it's like building a community, but it also serves to monetize that trust. Fans who feel personally connected are more likely to buy merchandise, subscribe to paid content, or financially support the creator. And as Arthur Brooks noted, the new media economy in many ways is about, quote unquote, monetizing parasocial relationships on a mass scale. For instance, some celebrities offer paid meet and greets or personalized video messages, cashing in on fans' desire for a personal connection with them. One trend to be wary of is if how our friendly feelings are being used in marketing. It's a double-edged sword. In one hand, you truly enjoy the connection with an artist or streamer, and then on the other hand, remember that from their side, it's part of an intentional strategy to build that loyalty and then, of course, that revenue that would follow that, you know? And then those virtual AI friends. And that's the next frontier.
Yeah.
I really think so. It's scary. A twist on parasocial relationships is emerging, and it's that AI-driven companions and those virtual influencers. Have you seen them?
I've seen the virtual influencers, and I know that it's like a massive thing now. And they like
is.
post like,
And people are super into it.
yeah.
I'm like, guys, you know this like
It's
a
with
computer.
the blonde one.
I don't know, but I know
forgot her
I know
name,
the
but-
Spanish one. There's one from Spain that
Yeah.
was like the original one, and she has millions of
Followers, I know.
I was like, man, why didn't I think of that?
Seriously.
God. Anyway, so AI-driven companions and virtual influencers, people are forming parasocial-like bonds with chatbots. Like, well, Kendra was a great example of that. Like,
Henry.
Yep.
Very important to her.
Oh boy. Like AI friend apps, because there are those apps. I looked into that. I go back to that AI and mental health episode. There, I gave you several apps on it. Some of them even had to like close down because they had to shut apps down and stuff like that. It's a lot. And there's a lot there. Anyway, virtual YouTubers, which are animated avatars, and even characters in video games that can interact using AI. These aren't traditional celebrities, but they tap into the same one-sided attachment mechanism. except sometimes the AI does talk back in a human way. And it's blurring the line between parasocial and real social interaction in a sci-fi way. Psychologists and ethicists are paying close attention to this trend as it raises new questions, like if your AI therapist or virtual idol seems to care about you, does that change the nature of the parasocial relationship? Could this technology be used therapeutically to provide companionship to lonely people, or does it risk leading to deeper isolation?
Well, I've
Right?
yeah, it just depends on how you use it.
Right?
I have tried scenarios. Like if I
Okay.
have to deliver like really difficult news.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done it because
Yeah.
it's a really hard thing to do. I usually like stage it in a like, hey, I have to deliver this news. I know I have an idea. In medical school, they kind of give you training on breaking bad news. But again, like every situation is really different. Every kind of news is really different.
Yeah.
So every family is different too.
Yep.
Maybe one way that I do it for one family is not the same as the other family. So I usually give them information about the family dynamic.
Okay.
And then I say like, I want to approach it in this way. And then it'll tell me like I practice
That's
like through
super
that.
cool. That's a really cool way of using it though.
I did
But
it.
you know that it's a tool though.
Well, I did it because I heard that people were practicing interviewing skills.
Yes,
With
I've
that.
done that.
So I was like, I thought about it. I'm like, well, I wonder if I can like kind of practice like delivering certain things. Like,
Yeah.
it's really hard and every family is like very different. But I feel like for those things, I think that that's really helpful.
Well, you're using it as a tool there.
Yeah.
You're not like,
I mean, literally before residency, I remember recording myself on my phone.
There you go.
And having my friends ask me questions and I would respond and I would have to look back at my video, look at my body language, how I responded. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, as long as you use it as a tool, I think it's good. Now, when you start putting emotion into
Yeah,
it, and you start
exactly.
treating it like, oh, I need to text my AI friend bot because I haven't heard of them in a while or something like that. Like you see where I
That's
mean?
weird, yeah.
That's where it's like, but if it's just like a tool, like, hey, I need help with this, like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's different. Anyway, so we don't have solid answers on this yet, but it's definitely an area of evolving interest, obviously. Early reports suggest that some young people, especially those who feel marginalized or isolated, are using chatbots and AI interactions as a form of support. One survey found that about 40% of LGBTQ plus youth have had ongoing conversations with AI chatbots to help cope with loneliness. Some experts speculate that these AI friends might help lessen feelings of isolation for certain individuals. At the same time, there's concern about relying too much on artificial companions. This is a frontier where we'll likely see more research and debate, the ethics and the effects of the relationships that are almost two-sided thanks to technology, but not human. That's where it's like a gray area
Yeah.
because it's like, obviously you're getting something back, but like,
Yeah.
are you really?
Are you really?
Because they're meant to please you. So, and then the next one, parasocial breakups, and they make headlines. As society becomes more aware of parasocial dynamics, even the endings of these relationships are getting attention. So when a famous content creator suddenly quits, like I remember when Jenna Marbles, like
Quit, yeah.
people were like
Crazy.
yeah. Or beloved series ends, Game of Thrones. Media outlets now talk about fans experiencing parasocial breakup grief. For example, like I said, when certain hugely popular TV shows, looking at you, Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
that it wrapped up, or when celebrities passed away,
Or The Walking Dead. That was
or
another
The
one.
Walking Dead was another one. But I had stopped The Walking Dead at a certain point because it just like, I think it was when Glenn died. I was done.
Oh man, I don't know. I watched all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hooked into that. I was so hooked into that. And then my brother got into the comic books. And then I got into the comic books. It
Yeah.
was a lot.
Mario read the comics books too.
It was a lot. But anyways.
Many fans reported feeling real sadness and emptiness akin to like losing a friend. Recently, there has been buzz about how to cope with parasocial grief in healthy ways. Psychologists suggest treating it like a legitimate form of grief. Acknowledge your feelings. Talk with fellow fans who understand. Or channel that energy into something constructive, like fan art, memorial projects, or supporting a cause in your idol's name. The good news is that mental health professionals validate that these feelings are normal, and they encourage people to allow themselves to mourn a parasocial loss, much like they would a real one. Parasocial relationships are clearly a huge part of modern life, and we're only beginning to fully understand their impact. From academic journals to think pieces in major magazines, there's a growing recognition that these one-sided bonds aren't just a quirky or guilty pleasure. They're a meaningful psychological phenomenon with both bright spots and hazards. Yeah, I could definitely see how like there's very, very good things and then very, very bad things.
I think it's really interesting, and I think that as we progress in this like AI virtual reality world, like, can you imagine like escaping into a virtual reality world?
It's inevitable. People
Yeah.
are kind of already doing that with games.
Yeah. And like, remember how you told me how you and Mario like loved doing that like virtual reality thing?
Oh God, yeah, that was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good.
It's kind of funny. So there was a show, and I cannot remember for the life of me that show.
Black Mirror. I mean,
No,
this
well,
has Black Mirror
this has
written-
Black Mirror written all over it. But no, it was another show, and it was like about a girl that she became a superhero in one of her like video games. But like that video game actually had like some stuff going on inside it, so they would like pull her in. And then I cannot remember the name of the show, and it actually didn't air for like another season, and I was so mad. But it was like this guy, he was a veteran, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. But when he would go into the virtual reality world, he was like fully functional.
Yeah.
And he like wanted to live in
Yeah.
that virtual reality.
Well, it's kind of like
world.
Avatar.
Yeah, kind of like Avatar.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was exactly the same thing. So sometimes I think about it like that, and then I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine.
that would be really cool.
Right?
To just escape for a little while.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
I don't
that's
know
crazy.
either. Because you could easily become addicted to.
Yeah, no, I
You
see
know?
a full addiction profile.
And then if you
to
want
that.
to like, if you want to play devil's advocate, it's like, is it that bad?
No, I don't. I actually don't think like, especially like if you use it, like if you have like a stressful day and you want to come back home and you just want to sit on your couch and throw on your like virtual reality and like, I don't know, escape to like Tahiti. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You
know? But
That's the thing. It's like,
but when it comes to like that you want to live there and not real life, I think that is a very hard balance to keep. And I think that's a very like blurred line
big time.
that people can cross without knowing that they crossed it. So
And you know how like people now say like there's quirks to like every generation, right? So like we millennials have a shit ton. Like we have to write LOL after almost everything we
my God,
say.
yes.
You know, we like don't know how to do a selfie for the life of us without like doing a peace sign or a weird face. Like there's so many things, right?
so many things, yeah.
And then the recent one that I had seen for Gen Z was that they just like stare. And they call it the Gen Z stare.
Yeah, I've heard
And they
about
just
it.
like stare. And then us millennials were like,
Yeah. It's
but
like,
then we
what
feel
a-
awkward.
Yeah,
But they don't
exactly.
even realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people say that that comes from like screen.
Screen, yes.
So imagine if Gen Z has something like that, then what's going to happen with like the newer generations that are going to be super integrated with AI?
I don't know, man.
You understand? Like what quirk's going to come out of that?
Don't know.
Yeah. No. It's a growing world of like, I don't even know what is going to come out of
It's
it.
very interesting. And I
Super.
think it's very interesting because I think we're digging into a part of our brains that is newly being discovered. And it's like, I don't know, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe possibly dangerous.
Oh yeah, hold on,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. It's kind of like that Black Mirror,
Black Mirror.
that episode of the lady that lost her husband and then the robot, you know, to
Oh,
replace.
yes. Or the
You could design a chatbot to be that
Yes.
person that left.
yes, or like the people that when they pass away, they actually don't pass into like something, they pass into like an alternate
Into a
reality.
cloud.
Yeah, it's like a cloud. Yes, dude, Black Mirror. That
But
is.
it's real.
I
Like
really wanna watch an
imagine.
episode.
I just thought of this. Okay, all right, follow me here.
I'm following you,
Follow
following
me
you,
here. Okay,
following.
so
Follow me.
Yeah, follow me here. So ChatGPT, kind of like pretty new into this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like maybe a couple of years in. But now ChatGPT like 5 recently came out like maybe a couple of
Yes,
weeks ago, right?
yes.
Anyway, so now it's developed a really good memory into the fact that like you could it'll like cross-reference past conversations, like past chats into like your new chat or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, remember when I said this about whatever?
Yes.
And it will do that, you know?
Interesting.
Okay,
Wow.
now, I'm 36 right now. I've been using like ChatGPT or whatever, like let's say for, I don't know, 2 years or whatever the is. Now, what if, okay, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, it's going to be ChatGPT 20 at this point, right? Or God knows what. And it's already collected all of this information about me. It knows me pretty damn well at this point, right? I die. There was no need for me to upload anything in the cloud. This thing knows me very well.
Yeah.
So then there could come somebody that wants to interact with me. All they have to do is talk to my chat and be like, pretend that you're her, use your memories or what you know about her.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah.
It's already collecting all of my info. So it's like, we don't even have to like worry about that cloud anymore. We can, because all our memories and all that shit. But if you wanted to just like that level of like Black Mirror, where she's like trying to like
to talk, and then they even do like the phone calls and everything. It was crazy.
you could kind of do that.
Yeah,
with
because
technology
they
exists.
record like sometimes people talking to their like chat GPT.
Well, and now there's even like in CapCut. In CapCut, their AI has different voices, even like of Mickey and whatever.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And there are avatars of you. Like you can make an avatar of you. So we're not, it's only 2025 and we're not far from that at all. Like we're there if we want it.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. It just like, it makes you wonder. Like, anyway, that was our episode on parasocial relationships.
Yeah. It was a good episode.
I told you, it's
Thought
gonna be
provoking.
it's a little bit of a mind fuck, but it's real. It exists. You encounter it all the time. If you're on social media, you've encountered it at least once.
Yeah.
At the very, or at least seen it. Like you've definitely seen it, you know? But anyway, subscribe, comment, let us know if you've experienced or what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on all of this
and everything.
Because
I think
it's,
our clips are gonna go popping off.
it's really thought-provoking, all of this, especially when you go into like the AI realm, because the celebrity realm of parasocial relationship has been around since forever. But like now with AI, that's the new parasocial relationship frontier, I guess.
Yeah.
So let us know your thoughts. We're here every Tuesday. Thank you guys for everything, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for doing all the things. We're on all forms of social media. It's Funny Medicine Podcast. If you're not into social media, check out or send us an email if you'd like, funnymedicine305@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.